guys, welcome back to another episode of the podcast. And today I am joined by friend of the pod, Taria Faison, and superstar podcaster in her own right. And I believe the inspo behind the Real Housewives of Atlanta intro. Even though the podcast, What Else Is Going On, is named after Cynthia, I believe Cynthia did this intro because of Taria. Taria, you should turn around in your chair right now and do it for everyone. What else is going on?
Now, what else is going on?
That was spectacular. How are we doing?
I love it. I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk Atlanta. I'm excited to be excited about Atlanta.
Agreed. I'm having a great time. I still think people aren't talking about it enough online because of everything else that's going on, but I'm having a blast.
Me too. I went in when the trailer, sorry, you might have seen my tongue. I'm scarfing down salad before we got on. When we saw the trailer, I got sad because I was like, oh, nostalgia. And I posted about it. I was like, oh, I'm sad, but I'm going to support our girls. And then I slapped myself metaphorically and said, get yourself together. If you're going to support the girls, support the girls. Let your idea of Atlanta go. Embrace this new change. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, then you just don't like it, but give them a chance. And don't be so rigid and like, oh, it's not this person, it's not that person. And I'm laughing. I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, here's the thing. Like, I think it's, I think as fans of shows on this network, we're always like chasing the good seasons, like even a show like Salt Lake City, it's been great, but it's inevitably not going to always be. Mm-hmm. And we're going to be chasing the highs of moments from before. So we just gotta, have fun when it's fun, be happy when it's fun. I think, if it's making you laugh, it goes down easy. That's fun to me. In the end, reality TV in itself is so different than it was when Atlanta was in its like prime,
Yeah.
Those women were just really, I mean, this is my big critique about Atlanta still, is that I do think Phaedra and Portia aren't kind of like acting authentically still within the confines of the show. I think they're hilarious. They are. I laugh out loud at some of the things they say.
Same.
But a guard went up after, I think, season 9, probably, when the whole Candy Phaedra incident went down. A guard went up with them, and now they're like, I just want to be live, laugh, love. We don't talk about my personal problems. We fake stories, like, and that does bother me. But
yes.
Like, I do think there's enough other characters in the mix here that make the show really, really enjoyable. And I really liked last season. I think some people were a little hard on it because of everything that went down with Britt, but I had a nice time because I liked the new characters.
Yeah, I do wish Britt had came back. As much as I didn't necessarily see it for her, I still wanted her to come back because I felt like she started to kind of find a little footing at the end. She was speaking up. She was in the mess. She was her and Kelly going back and forth. I wish that she had have come back. And then after the season, she's still showing us her reunion look. Oh, I have so much to say. And it's kind of like, well, I don't want it now.
Oh, she didn't go to the reunion. I forgot about that, right? Yeah. She didn't, or did she?
She didn't go, but she posted a whole thing with her dress and her stylist. Her stylist used to style Kelly and then has been styling Dr. Wendy.
Oh God.
So that's who gave Wendy Wendy's reunion look.
Well, I know, but they got a really good picker on the type of housewives they're going. I mean, I like Wendy, but like, I'm just saying, like, the track record of who they're working with isn't great.
It's like they do really great work, but their track record,
looks pretty, but I'm just saying, like, why are they landing with Britt and then they land with Wendy? I'm like,
right, and they're killing the game with them, and it's like, right.
Wendy has been looking gorge.
He's
against all odds.
Against all odds. Well, a very reliable source, as in a family member who's friends with her and Eddie, told me that she told her kids they not gonna hide, keep their head up, keep their chin up. They're not hiding. And that much is clear. She's made the court a runway. But anyway, but yeah.
Well,
So
wait, speaking of that, though, so guys, if you don't know Taria, well, one, of course, you know Taria because she's been on this podcast 5,000 times, but Taria is at the courthouse whenever the courthouse is in hearing, in session. She is our Judge Judy, essentially. And Taria, any updates in the Wendy court case? When is the next hearing? And will you be in attendance?
okay, so the next status hearing, because what they've been having so far is status conference. Not, I keep saying status hearings, but they're status conferences basically to establish what's going forward. Like, remember when they were going to be tried together, then they weren't going to be, and the judge had to approve and all this stuff. So the last one, just a quick recap, Eddie waived his rights for a speedy trial because there's a lot of, he said he wanted to deep dive the prosecution's discovery. Those were the exact words, deep dive. Wendy wanted a trial that month in March. That couldn't happen for her due to the schedule. Fast forward, their trial should have actually been April 21st and April 22nd. However,
wow.
because Eddie waived his right in March to a speedy trial, and because Wendy didn't want to waive her right and wanted a quicker one, those dates were then gone. And the next date is May 20th, and that's another status conference to see where we're gonna where we're like, I'm their lawyer, where they're gonna go from there. I'm wondering if we're gonna hear about some type of plea for one of them, but I guess we'll see when we go back in May what that looks like. And I'm thinking when we go back in May, there may be, if there's not a plea, Wendy may have a court date at that time. When Wendy wanted to waive her right, I mean, when Wendy was like, no, I want a trial now. Like, she didn't say it, her lawyer was speaking for her. The judge told her, well, it's not like you have to waive your right to a fair and speedy trial anymore because they just didn't have room for it on the books, which is so crazy. So that's the update. May 20th is another status conference. So they'll find out, I guess, maybe when Wendy's trial is. And it'll be interesting if Eddie gets a date at that time. What may go in Eddie's favor is that he'll get to see all the evidence they have because Wendy's going first. So it'll be interesting.
What do you like think in general is going to happen? Like, if you were to say to predict something, what would that be?
I have to keep. I love Wendy and Eddie, and I'm going to be very honest. I don't want them to go. I do think this is not made up. I'll say it like that. I think there's credibility to it. And I kept thinking, oh my gosh, based on what I see and how the prosecution is presenting, when I say very confident, I'm talking, she's almost might as well be like, here it is. Based on that, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel for them. And based on where they are, Carroll County, I feel for them. But then I was reminded that they're having a jury trial. So if they can convince a jury, any reasonable doubt, they may be good. Except, I think, I don't know if I told you on your podcast, but when I went to my doctor's appointment in February, the other doctor there, she remembered when Eddie and Wendy moved into her neighborhood. She heard me talking to the receptionist about this. So she's like, oh my gosh, I remember when Eddie and Wendy moved in. I lived on that street. My parents live on that street. And her exact words were, the neighborhood is on fire. They can't believe they did it. If you're saying, if they're already believing that Eddie and Wendy did it, more than likely the people that they find in Carroll County, a jury of their peers, is thinking the same thing. That's my only thing. I don't think that it's 15 years worthy just going by, because it's up to 15 years. But I do think something will have to give, even if it's house arrest. Mm-hmm. I do feel like something. I know people may say, oh, you shouldn't feel bad if they did it, but I do, because you also never know the desperate lengths that people will go to. If it was to keep up a lifestyle, then I am looking at you like, you know better. But like, what if it's simply to pay the bills? But then again, she did $100,000 in renovation. So it's like, it's like, but
I feel like with them, there's like been a lot of, I don't know. It just feels like
House of Cards.
He was doing more. Well, House of Cards, yes. But then part of me is like, one of them has to have been doing more of the behind the scenes work and the other was doing more of the in front of the scenes work.
Yeah.
They don't give that the two of them were like co-conspirating this like big master plan to like get out of all this stuff. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, but part of me is like goes to the Teresa and Joe situation where it's like, is Eddie the Joe where he's like been behind the scenes doing all this and, you know, she was kind of turning a blind eye to the books? Or was it vice versa and Wendy was on camera saying like, I don't know how the bills are paid as a way to cover up that like she like knew more than she did? I don't know. It's hard for me to picture the two of them sitting in co-conspirating on how to get insurance money back for a pretend theft. I don't know. It's just crazy.
The sad part is that I can see it. I just can't believe they did it.
That's just so much. There's so much planning that has to go into something like that. And
Yeah.
you have to know that it's so illegal.
And I think sometimes even myself would probably not even realize when you think about if somebody were to do something like that, you think that you're smart enough. I've taken care of everything. I've taken care of this. These people have been in their jobs, some of them 10, 15, 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, these people are in their jobs for a reason. These investigators are in their jobs for a reason. And to me, the stupidest thing was that you didn't hire somebody to actually do it. Like, it's like
pay a criminal to do it for you.
to tear up the whole house. We're just gonna have to take a loss on the whole house.
You're right.
Like if you're gonna do it, you're just gonna have them break up the things in your room.
Yeah,
And
it's weird.
they're still being a little like on the reunion. I know we talked about it, but when she said the kids weren't there and Eddie came and said the police are here, I wish Andy had pushed back and said, oh, well, it was a school night. How come the kids were already at your mom and your sister's house?
Oh God!
Because word on the street is they had a heads up. So and the police let them get enough time to get their kids situated. So that's why when Karen was saying, I didn't like the way Karen said it, but when Karen was saying shut up, because it's stuff like that, like little things that could make it like, so just don't say anything.
Yeah.
You know, but I feel bad, but I do think what really made me feel for them was when we were in that courthouse, they changed the room that we were in. So it was a bigger room and they had TVs all around the room. And we had to watch 4 bail reviews before Wendy and Eddie. So we're literally watching on Zoom incarcerated people with the guard standing behind them.
The bailiff.
No, in court.
Oh,
I mean, in jail. So the CO.
Oh, yeah.
Standing behind them. So we're watching them, Tom, in orange jumpsuits. And I couldn't help but think, what are Wendy and Eddie thinking? This could possibly be them in a year. Because we're literally
Probably will
watching.
be.
Yeah. So I will definitely, May 20th, it's at 1:00. As soon as we get out, y'all will be getting updates and a video because I do not break the rules and I do not have my phone out in court.
No, you're good about that. Except when you post that photo of the back of Wendy's head.
Allegedly. Allegedly. And an alleged leak, you know, of something that just recently happened. Just one though, allegedly, but not on IG. Smart enough not to do that.
No, not. Well, speaking of alleged criminals, let's dive into Atlanta. This episode 4 starts off with Pinky. She's not an alleged criminal, but she's up to some money stuff that I don't know where we're gonna land with this.
I'm getting ready to post it. It's funny, when we get off of here, I just did the screen record on my IG. Bankruptcy doesn't mean you're broke. I think it is an amazing tool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I've
definitely.
done it before. I've done it before, years before. I know people who do it to keep their money. A friend of mine years ago did it. She had money, but she was like, the amount of money I'm paying every month, I just need to start over. However, Pinky has made sure to let us know I'm rich, but I'm filing bankruptcy. It's okay to say, hey, I have it, but with everything coming in and all these lawsuits, I don't want to lose it. And because I just got my company back, I need to start over. It's like she's fighting being that vulnerable. Like, oh, I don't want you to think I don't have money. When she said I can wipe my butt with $89,000, I'm thinking if I was the creditor that you owed that back rent to, because that's what that 89,000 lawsuit is,
Right.
I would be like, don't include it in the bankruptcy. Because you can wipe. You're letting us know. So it's
Right.
again,
Like, you don't need help with that.
so take that 80. Are you going to take that $89,000 and put it towards your payment plan for the foreclosure? And then when we see later on, she's going to tell Angela, I should have bought your foreclosures. How?
Yeah, with what I agree. There's just some stuff that's confusing, and like she was on Watch What Happens Live talking about how she's the richest housewife there,
See,
and I'm like,
people are watching. Are you an idiot?
Yeah, like take Karen's advice. Shut up.
Literally, like they watch this stuff.
Yeah, they do. I don't.
But you're
I don't really get it. It's confusing to me.
It's
But
all
like this
ego with Pinky, I think.
Well, yes, that is exactly what it is. She, this first scene, so it's Pinky and Kelly, which is a hilarious duo because the two of them talking money is like two children batting back and forth about Legos. I'm like, what? What?
That is an amazing analogy. Yeah.
Like, I don't think y'all should be checking in on the status of money because Kelly's another one where I'm like, what is gonna happen with you, Miss Kelly?
Yes. Don't Kelly seem like every time she's on screen, she's going through it?
Yeah.
Like Kelly, I mean, and we're getting real story, but at the same time, she's pissing me off a little bit because I need her to have the same energy in her confessionals about Portia to Portia.
Well, I think that's a problem she's having with a lot of people on the show because she's also talking. The origin of Pinky's beef with Phaedra is Kelly's fault.
Like, hello.
And Kelly is sitting there. She's like, that is so crazy. I'm like, Kelly.
And then does this in the confessional.
And y'all, I need Kelly to find a gay in her life that is not that stylist that her and Drew were swapping back and forth. We need someone else to hop in and help this woman dress because I'm sorry, Kelly, you are the height of a Trenta Starbucks coffee cup. We need you in appropriate attire, okay? Because you're wearing floor-length gowns that make you look like you are a grande Starbucks coffee cup because of how big the gowns are.
Kelly, with Kelly, everything is too big and too small at the same time. And I don't know how she manages to do that.
It's honestly, it's admirable.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah.
How can you find things that are so? Well, I think the problem is she is short, but she's like busty and like curvy, and so like she needs to make. What she needs to do is get a tailor. A tailor is the solution here, y'all. I learned that in my adult life recently. The importance of going to a tailor. I think for some reason we think that tailors are like super like highbrow rich people things. It's like it's not. Like you go, it can cost like go take your t-shirts to the tailor and get them tailored. It's like $5. Like it makes you look better.
So much better. I have gone to the dry cleaners because they have the ladies in the back.
Yeah,
and
mine does too.
Yeah, they will make it just right. I actually had my trench coat shortened and tailored, and now I have to get it taken in again, and I'm taking it right back. I'm taking to a different one because the one I
Did you hear that flex, y'all? She said I have to go get it taken in again.
Insert Phaedra meme.
She's like, I'm disappearing right in front of your eyes.
What's funny is as soon as I said it, I thought about it like, oh, the way that came out, and you picked up right on it. That's why we're friends. That's funny.
It worked. You got to take it in again because you got to make sure it fits.
Yes, because I want it to fit because it's like I want it to be chic and sleek.
But okay, Taria, actually, to be honest with you though, you are, because we didn't meet in person until like what, 2 years into like knowing each other
Yeah.
online. Yo, Taria is like shorter than I had expected. And you dress so impeccably for your stature and your height. Like you are such, you should help Kelly. Like you do such a fabulous job at making yourself look like taller than you are. Not that you need to be tall or short, but you do
No,
a
but
fantastic job with your proportions.
I remember you said, I thought you were going to be taller. And I said, I had BTE, big tall
You
energy.
do. I thought you were going
I'm
to
a
be
tall
taller than
woman.
me. And then you are like a head shorter than me. I'm like, Taria, what's good?
I have BTE. I'm going to lead with that. There's a YouTuber that I watch. She's 5'2", and whenever she tells story times, and she's dead serious, she'll be like, if she's talking about something that has to do with height or this or that, she'll be like, you guys know that I'm a tall woman. I'm 5'2", so I'm a really tall woman. And like, and it's so funny, but she said she feels like she's tall, meaning
Yeah.
like the big tall energy. So I was like, I'm going to start saying that too. You guys know I'm a tall woman.
Yeah. If you embody it, you do. You do.
Thank you.
I
These
wonder,
with
that
these
might be a
braids
reveal to people in the chat. They also may not understand
that
that.
I'm 5'5", thick in the thighs, every thug's dream wife. See the love in their eyes? Yes, yes.
But
BTE.
I did write how hilarious it was that Kelly compared herself to Abe Lincoln,
Out of everybody,
the tallest president. Also,
I was like, bankruptcy was a thing then?
people
You
have
know
been
what? I
losing
will
money since
say,
the beginning of time.
since the beginning of time, I know someone who is a paralegal. She has her own firm and she does, bankruptcies for people. And I said, people shouldn't be embarrassed, especially if you believe in the Bible, because it's very clear in the Bible. And she said, what? I said, there's a scripture and it literally says, debtors should forgive debts every 7 years. You can file bankruptcy every
Hear
7 years.
that, government?
Especially this administration, right? They're so Christian,
Oh God. Well, and they be forgiven a lot of things of people.
except for debts and student loans. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's so funny. But just Kelly, first of all, yeah, when she said Abe Lincoln, I meant to fact check that because somehow I'm not saying she's not smart. I'm just saying I would have to fact check what you say.
I think I kind of don't believe most of the things she says.
Like,
She's
I
not
just,
someone. She's not like Drew, where she like lies, but
yeah,
she's like someone who just like believes shit when she hears it, and so she just spouts it off. She doesn't like
yeah.
actually like investigate in it. But
Oh, wait,
also, oh wait, go
she
ahead.
might be right.
Did he file
Abe
three
Lincoln,
times?
well, it says he faced severe financial ruin in the early 1830s after a failed general store partnership in New Salem, Illinois, often cited as a bankruptcy. Lincoln assumed his deceased partner's debts, roughly $1,000, which is over $25,000 today, and had his assets, including his horse and surveying equipment, seized by creditors. He paid off this debt over 17 years.
Well, Pinky and Kelly, just sell your horse, and everything will be okay.
Amazing.
This
Oh my God.
conversation about Pinky not being vegan. Here's my okay. Guy, this may shake the table, as K Michelle
Shake
once
it.
said. But
Shake it.
sometimes I have even been vegan before, like, and I've dabbled in cutting out meat and all that stuff.
Okay.
Like, but sometimes I feel that there is a level of importance that a vegan carries with them that I'm like, I don't think people care as deeply about whether or not you had a short rib 10 years ago. Like, I don't think that's, baby, you're filed for bankruptcy. Like, there are other things jeopardizing your business, and
Yes.
I don't think the short rib mac and cheese you had is going to change whether people are going to your restaurant.
Yeah, like it just, she was so, I'm on the board of PETA. I'm on this, I'm on that. I mean, I get it. You built your reputation around it, but also it's like, okay. Okay. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Well, also, y'all,
bagged.
PETA has their own slew of issues. That's the
Oh
other
my
thing with
God.
PETA is
Yeah.
like, the thing that annoys me about PETA is they're like all in when it's convenient, essentially.
Yes.
But like when, for instance, famine is happening in countries across the world, they have nothing to say about the fact that like there are animals that are starving.
Starving.
But
Yes.
instead they are coming for, restaurants based on what meat they use. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just like it's stupid. I'm like, y'all,
Yeah.
like pick a lane. Like they just can't quite ever. I just feel like they're always like wishy-washy on when it is they choose to care.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, girl, Pinky. No,
Yeah.
I
Like
would let this one go, but it seems she's
she,
not.
it's people were saying that I've seen different people comment. They remember when she opened her first one. And do you know she just had one called Vogies for vegan hoagies? It was called Vogies.
No.
It's closing, but here's the issue. Like literal weeks before the closed for renovation signs go up, they were actively advertising customers to get gift cards. So people were buying gift cards to Vogies. You didn't just all of a sudden close.
Oh, that's a problem.
And Pinky has former employees speaking out that she didn't for a while that she did not pay them.
That's a mess.
Yeah. And she just had she opened up a Slutty Vegan, not far from me. It was new in Baltimore, like, oh, cool, down, like harbor-esque wise. My daughter, one of my closest friends and her daughter, they all went 45 minutes and they still forgot my girlfriend's burger. They said the service was horrible and the food wasn't what it said. And it's like, are you just throwing up these locations at this point for money and not for like the original reason you started doing this, right? Is it just now become a money grab?
Did they call them sluts when they walked in? Because I hated
Oh,
that.
I got to wait a minute. I'm going to ask my daughter, did they call them sluts?
I did not like that.
Well, Portia's reaction, I was screaming.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
And if Kelly had her housewife thinking cap on instead of running out of there, she should have looked at Portia and said, hey, slut, did you know they have a burger named Horsha? Now that could have went left. Event could have been over.
It would have made for a good scene, though.
Yes. That slut thing, it was like, I get it. I'd said this yesterday. People call Jamal Bryant, Monique called him Pastor Holy Whore, right?
Mm-hmm, yep.
When he moved to Atlanta, and it was like, oh, marketing genius. He went to Slutty Vegan for the first time. And you're a slut. So he walks out with his burger and his caption is, I'm a slut.
Well, at least he knows. Because that he is.
Like, I had to, when you see them two fingers together, I had to give him that one. I just started realizing it's the middle one. I was using the wrong one.
It is the middle. Guys, yeah. This is not Clock It. Clock It is this.
But yeah, the event was crazy. What did you make of Kelly just walking out and not confronting Portia and not even saying hi? That's what makes me kind of side eye.
That's where I'm like, Kelly, you're not. You have. There's housewife potential within you, but I don't think you have it to be it because it's just not. You're too scared to actually say what it is, and like. She came in hot in the beginning of last season because literally the first episode, she said to Portia, she was like, well, didn't you steal someone's husband on this show or something like that?
Yes.
And I liked that. I'm like, because we need to remind her of that because that is what happened.
I think she came in thinking, these new housewives now, they back in the day, housewives weren't looking at fan commentary or reaction to see what we liked on these shows or what we wanted addressed. And I think some of these newer housewives are deep in the trenches of the fandom, then thinking they're going to go on the show and be the voice of a fan. So yes, of course we wanted to know. Yeah. And I think that was part of what Kelly was doing last season and kept bringing it up. And it's like, okay, eventually, like we kept asking her about it. Y'all had a conversation, but it's like, okay, now Like, are you just going to keep bringing that same thing? Like, I don't know. I just feel like you said, there's housewife thing that she should have went further with the horse show or something. Like all these things she's saying behind the scenes is really annoying me. And then for you to leave an event early, it was like, and I think she left because of Portia, not because she wasn't feeling good.
No,
That's why she
1,000%.
came early. Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't want to see her. She just wants to talk bad about her, which it's just
Yeah.
it's silly to me.
Yeah.
We get this scene at Shamia's house where like she's like, we're getting this like these packing scenes. The trip isn't this week; it's next week. But
Yeah.
which I can't stand the fake packing scenes, y'all. Like you're not
Yeah.
packing for this trip right now. Like y'all aren't even leaving this episode. I don't even know when you're leaving. But we get this flash of Adrian Malouf, which I literally was like, what in the hell is the Malouf hoof doing on an episode of Housewives of Atlanta?
Atlanta.
And y'all, okay, I love Cynthia, but I have to say something. Why is she friends with so many of the like most conservative housewives?
Yep.
But she's not. Like she is vocally not. She talks about that, but like why does she like associate herself with people like Adrian Malouf, who is like an ultra Trumper? She's all over her Instagram as Trump. She's also so buddy with Luann, who like we all like Luann for being like a drunk mess, but Luann's politics are a mess, and she's always in Palm Beach with them. Like not always, but like
But a lot,
decent
yeah.
amount.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Cynthia, like you can be friends with whoever you want, but I'm just kind of like, huh? Like I want to fuck with these ladies.
It tells me that Cynthia it all comes down to money too. At the end of the day, it all comes down. She's
Yeah, she
attached
just
to
wants-
people, especially with the Maloof of it all. And
Yeah.
when she was filming Beverly Hills, some of those ladies, I feel like it all comes down also to being seen. Sometimes, like I feel like, and there's nothing wrong with that. Like if you want to still be in that world, but I think that's what it comes down to for Cynthia. And she probably looks at it like, well, no, she's actually friends with them now. I was going to say how.
But like
Sometimes-
she's more famous and has a much larger platform than Adrian
That's true.
Malouf. Like
That's true.
That's the thing about
That was wild.
I know, and so they're partnering. She's like partnering with Adrian's like liquor distribution company to make her tequila, essentially something like that. Which is why they're going to Dallas, because she's doing like a tequila launch there, I guess. But yeah, it was really bizarre. But
To see her, yeah.
yeah. Where do you land with Shamia this season specifically?
Oh, Shamia is cringy. She makes my butt cheeks clench. You know, when you get embarrassed for somebody else, for me, my body reaction is that my cheeks clench. And she makes me clench every time. Whenever she's sitting in a confessional chair, I'm waiting for like, I'm embarrassed for her because I'm imagining what the producer is saying. And I'm afraid for when she goes on Watch What Happens Live, because, you know, Andy has a tendency to be like, oh, okay. If they go on too long.
Yep.
Shamia is a go on too longer.
Yeah.
And she just makes me cringe. This man does not want to be on camera, but because you want to be on camera so bad, you're willing to set up these scenes that are so hard to watch. That scene she was setting up
Last week with the rum bum.
embarrassing. Embarrassing.
No, her talking about creating generational wealth off of rum bum while her husband makes like hundreds of millions of dollars off of an HVAC company. I'm like, I'm here for a female operated owned business. I
Yes.
want her to be the breadwinner of that family, but baby, I think we're a little too far in with this relationship for that to be the
But
case.
not only that, it's not even viable. I mean, not like how she's trying to. You didn't even know that they couldn't do peach flavor. Like, I
Right.
mean,
she's just talking out of her ass.
no, you know what it is, because the husband doesn't want to be on the show.
Yeah.
And I heard that was a requirement for her. They let her know he has to be. It's like that was her way to involve him, I feel like, and to show that she has something going on outside. I don't even think it's something that she's always dreamed of doing or wanted. And by all means, get your coin. But it's just so cringy. And like this week, I would have rather him come in while she was in that closet saying, hey, yeah, I'm going to Dallas for Cynthia's rum thing. They're having a gala. And I'm just like, but let's talk about the surrogate. Like, because her trying, are you gonna join me? Are you gonna join? Oh my God. It was so just like,
If I was married to her and I was in this situation, I would literally be like, "What are you doing?"
yes. And why are y'all in her closet?
Yeah, like what? I also, y'all, I hate this house.
Because does it remind you of its name, Sterling Hall? It's a hall.
It's just, yeah, it's like not a home. It's like
Yeah.
in the great words of Diana Ross, a house is not a home. Oh no, that's not Diana Ross. That's
Luther.
well, no. Luther covered It's Diane Warwick, I believe.
Look at you. Okay, because I didn't know that.
I
Okay,
think it's
Tom.
Diane Warwick is the first, and
Okay,
then
Tom.
Luther. I was just thinking of It's My House and I Live Here with Diana Ross. That's what I was just thinking of. No, but it's not, the house is not a home. It doesn't feel homey. Like there's nothing about it that it just feels big because they have money.
Sort of like her wardrobe, which is why I'm surprised she has a stylist. You have a what? Okay.
And Kelly's wardrobe is big because she doesn't have money.
It's like, what is going on? Shamia. I just want Shamia. Maybe this is her, but there's a part of me that feels like she's always acting,
Yeah.
especially on this show. And like, because she wanted it so bad.
Yeah, it's like
Like, breathe, be yourself.
the reason your friend Portia worked so well on the show for like the first, era of her time there was that she was so authentically herself and like
Yes.
she was everything was just authentically her. And that's what made her the star that she is. So now she can get away with being an inauthentic version of herself, but because she's funny,
Yes.
But like Shamia, you can't do the same Portia game that she does now. Portia has 10 seasons of the show under her belt. Like
Yes.
you have 3 seasons of friend of on and off appearances, and like you have been at reunions, you were present in the zeitgeist, you're in a lot of scenes that are iconic to this show, but like just be that girl. I still don't understand why she's coming in with this. Yeah. It's just she wants it too bad. It's tough when people want something so bad and then it's not working because you feel bad. You're like,
Yes.
I don't know how to tell you that this isn't working, but
Yes.
it's just
And you can see the want too. That's the thing.
yeah, it's like reminds me of like Kiara in this last season of Potomac when she
Ooh.
was trying to make lines and moments happen, and it's like that's not how you excel on these shows. But
No.
we also get a K Michelle packing thing. I'm like, y'all, this is a mess. Portia. So Portia, Portia, Angela, and Phaedra go take a spin
Oh.
class. Now I don't know how much money the spin studio paid to get Real Houses of Atlanta to go there, but y'all, this was a mess. And y'all, I am a in recovery spin instructor. And if you didn't know, I taught spin for 9 years. That was my job in the city. So, and I don't know what this class was, but it looked a mess, and I can say that.
Well, okay. I was going to ask you because in the beginning of it, I was like, there's not a sweat or a hair out of place. And then towards the end, and I was like, oh, that's the warm up. And I was trying to find like,
They
did they really
probably
do
did like
this
a
whole
20-minute class, so they just had shots. Like they probably did like 20
Okay.
minutes of work where they warmed up and then they did like a choreography section because that is like a fun trend always. It's
because
like
he was sweating,
dancing.
but probably because of the lights and stuff too.
Yeah.
And he was
And
working.
he was actually trying, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say he was working.
But I will say, y'all, when Phaedra flew out of that bike, that happens. I have so many stories. Oh my God. One time in class, this woman was riding out of the saddle. So she was like standing up,
Okay.
right, with her hands on the handlebars, moving her legs pretty quickly. Both of her feet flew out at the same time, and she landed her coochie on the resistance knob.
No. Oh my classic. Oh, you got to call 911.
Baby, purple. Like it was. I mean, I didn't see everything, but like she went and outside and she left. And I went to go
Did she
check on
leave
her, and I
out
could
her-
just see a little bit of like she had biker shorts, like a short tight on, and so
Okay.
you could see a little bit because she landed kind of not right on the crotch. She landed like over to the side a little
Oh.
bit. You could start to see the bruise forming in her leg. It was shocking. I mean, you signed a waiver, unfortunately, so like we're not in trouble, but like,
Right.
but that happens. Your feet can fly out so quickly, and disaster things. One time I had someone's foot fly out, and then they caught themselves standing over, but then the bike started to lean, and I saw it all playing out in my mind like full like dominoes. I literally flew off the bike and caught him as he was like starting to fall into his neighbor. It would have been a full like bodies on bodies on bodies.
That is insane. You're right. I have a Peloton, and mine have never come out, thankfully, but I can imagine it sometimes with the force that you are moving on that thing. And what I find when your legs start going and you're in that zone where it's almost like they're moving on their own.
Yeah.
I can literally see, oh my God.
Well, okay, so a couple form tips for people real quick. If you're trying to, if you take class and you fly out of the bike a lot, oftentimes the problem is that our tendency when we're riding is to point with our toes down. I don't know why it is. I think it's just because when you start to move quickly, your feet just start to kind of point down. So you're like pedaling like that.
I had an instructor tell me that.
No, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't be doing that. You should be riding like either flat-footed or like in between, because like there's more power. There's more power in your. You don't have power in your toes. Like your power exists in the base of your foot, the ball of your foot. So you want to try and land as much with the ball of your foot. Obviously, your feet are going to tilt. It's natural.
Right.
But if you're riding out of the saddle with your feet down, your feet are just going to clip out.
Oh, I literally try to be conscious of that in my mind. So now, okay, and I'm flat-footed anyway, so that is actually perfect. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
fun
crazy. Okay.
I'll do a spin pod one day.
I was going to say, we get everything over here.
We do get everything, okay? So yeah, let's get to this. Oh, wait, Angela has this meeting with... Oh, wait, sorry, we're skipping through things. At the cycling class, there was a thing that made me cackle, because they talk about this, like... they talk about the vegan of it all. And she started... Phaedra called Pinky the Hamburglar.
Yes.
And they're like, Phaedra. And she goes, me calling her the Hamburglar is the least of her worries.
The least of her worries.
Y'all, when she's funny, she's hilarious, Phaedra. She really is. You got to give it to her.
And then when Angela was saying, well, Shamia said that you said she eats meat. And then when Angela started improvising, and Phaedra was like, she said that. Angela's like, well, no.
This group cracks me up. They really do. Yeah. And also, I like that Phaedra was talking about how she needs someone a little chubby because she can't be dating models. But then I thought that was so weird because she's been filming. She filmed Married to Medicine and last season of Atlanta and the first episode of the season with that tall, skinny ass young man. But
it's fake.
It's hired. He's hired.
Yeah. Che. What's his name? Chi or Che? Something like that. Chi or something. Yeah. Phaedra, when they showed Apollo again and she was doing the donkey, what was it? Whatever the name for that episode.
Yeah. I can't remember.
I was like, okay. She throws a lot of shots at Apollo.
Well, because here's the thing about Phaedra that is kind of I think a character flaw, sadly, is that she can't let anything go ever.
Yeah. And the stuff she says, like when she said that her son drove her around, but not because she needed the designated driver. Are you implicating? I mean, are you saying, okay, all right.
Wait, what do you think she's saying? That
Apollo gets drunk.
Oh.
And Aiden drives him. And I wouldn't be surprised because I have a friend.
Wait. If
that's what I took from it.
If you have a permit, no, but on the legality side of it, if you have a permit and like your parent it's like in Texas, if you have a permit, you can only drive with someone who has a license in the car with you. Now that person, I believe they can't be intoxicated because the whole point of it, right, is that like if they need to be able to take over, right? Like if they got arrested, if he got pulled over.
He would get. I believe Apollo would get arrested.
He would get a DUI? Or just like, I'm curious. If anyone knows, let me know. I've never thought about that.
And I think he could probably get in trouble with like putting a minor. That's almost like putting a minor in harm's way because they really don't know how to drive. I
That's
mean, they're
true. Yeah.
like, that's crazy. So when she said that, I was like, girl, you still just be saying stuff.
Well, she does definitely be saying things.
You know, I've had the tapes pulled. I didn't review the tapes. Like,
She just stays
that lawyer
lying.
speak. And it's what she does is lawyer speak. So that way you can't come out and say, well, you said that, Phaedra, you said you reviewed the tapes. No, I said I had the tapes pulled. But you know what the implication is. That to me is a scarier person than someone sometimes just flat out lying. Because we can't go by implication because we can't see inside of a person's head to know that they were trying to put that message across. But we know when you say certain things, what you want somebody to believe. And that's the more dangerous to me, like, because Portia's like that way.
Yeah, definitely.
She threw something out at the end. And when we get to it, we can talk about it. And I was like, oh, girl.
Yeah. Well, so we get to wait. Oh yeah, that was in the middle. So we get to the Slutty Vegan event. And also we had this scene with Angela and a fake office corporate space. I don't have much to say about it, but Angela, baby, it's giving Sonia Morgan.
It's giving Sonia. Why? No, it's giving WeWork.
And hired actors.
And hired actors looking around like, but I do want to reach out to her and see if I can be an ambassador for the Fangela because
it's a great product. Like that's the thing that is confusing to me. I'm like, why are you spending all your money in these houses?
Thank you.
You're on a show, sell a dumbass fan. You could make an easy like couple like 100K off of just selling fans to fans.
And cut out this team. Her and Drew seem to think they have to have like until you get to that point where you're making like, do you need all those people to help you with the Fangelas? Yeah, like your manager and whoever else, like you and the distributor or whoever else. But I was like, I'm about to reach out to her because I'm 49 and sometimes I get hot, not all the time. So
also, y'all, can we get a shout out to Taria? She is 49. Did you hear that? And she looks like she is 29.
I love you. In the words of a person that I shouldn't be quoting, but I will because it does fit, Ramona, I still get my period.
Wait, you do?
Yeah.
I know that's right.
I certainly.
You're going to be Janet Jackson over here having a baby at 55.
Yeah. How dare you? How dare you? I support women's rights. That's all I will say. Can you do the pod today? Nope, recovering.
So we get to the Slutty Vegan event. Y'all, K. Michelle looks like $1 million.
Yes, she does.
Bucks.
Yes, she does.
Like looking at her and Kelly. This is the other thing. Okay, Kelly is like the same size as K. Michelle. Like they have to be literally the same height. Kelly needs to learn about the whole get up from K. Michelle. K. Michelle is doing a fantastic job of dressing herself. And like those sunglasses with the long, like 40-inch hair. I'm like, she looked like $1 million at this vegan restaurant.
Yeah, she looks really good. I loved the girls that know their worth because even in my own life, I'm starting to see it. Like when people have talents and gifts, sometimes you look at you rank other gifts higher. For instance, Corey sings and he plays the keyboard. So he was literally the wedding singer or like funerals. Can you come to my wedding? And they could literally, whether it's Brian McKnight, Jesse, any song, he could learn it and play it. So of course you rank that as like, people should be paying you for your gifts. And I would see people try to get over sometimes on him. And so then when it comes to like, when people ask me, and I'm sure you get the same thing, ask you to do certain things, it's like, well, does it always have to be for free? And when Kay said that Cynthia asked her to sing in Dallas, and she's like, no, ma'am, I won't be singing country in Dallas because does she gets paid for that? I was like, thank you for the reminder, Kay. Like, I know that's right. Like, she's about this, that little, I don't know, that just stuck out to me. Like, She is about her business, getting her money in her coin. I will not be singing on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, no country, for
No,
you for free.
no.
I was like, come on,
It
I
is
just loved
important
it.
to know your worth in those ways. But
Yeah.
I will say she can know her worth. I do think there's people that I'm like, how do I
Oh,
say
you need to do it for
this?
free. Period. That's
I'm
how you
like,
say it.
there's been people, guys, a little BTS, that have asked for things to come on this show. And I said, absolutely not.
Are you insane? I'm not paying. I
I had
honestly,
someone ask me for a $3,000 appearance fee one time, and they were not an appearance fee type of person.
they had to be on a reality show like
They were
Love
from a
Island,
reality
Love After
show.
Lockup, one of those types somewhere.
They're on a show. They're on a show that
That's
takes place
insane.
on the waters.
No.
Yes. They have not been on this. To clarify, we've had
Yeah.
people from that show on this show, and they have not been here. The people we've had are wonderful.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't even pay because let's be clear, it may draw you and it could put you in the limelight, but an appearance doesn't always like even if it's Beyonce, even if it's you'll get a million people that episode. Are they gonna stay and I put out all this money?
Well, to be honest, sometimes even, I mean, there are episodes. We're getting a little in the weeds here, but I know people sometimes like the BTS every once in a while. Like there are times where you know put a lot of energy into acquiring someone to come on,
Yes.
and no one listens to the episode. But
Come
then people
on.
listen to me, laying in
Yes.
bed talking about West and Sierra for like an hour and a
Yes.
half, not
Yes.
putting sentences together.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's
Yeah.
like I wouldn't pay anybody but Jesus. And Jesus said I paid it all. Okay, I didn't even got to pay for him. So I'm not paying anybody to come over here.
I should have said that to this person. Well, Jesus said he paid it all.
That is in. Do you remember when Sheree was on Atlanta a couple seasons ago and she was bringing on the guy named Martell? And
Oh,
he was
yeah,
getting
uh-huh.
into it with Kenya. Martell is from Love and Marriage Huntsville, a Carlos King show. And
He was like the Jax Taylor of that show, right?
disgusting. And except for he actually like had a child on his wife. So like his youngest child with his wife and youngest child with his mistress are almost the same age. And he bought his mistress a matching car and all this other stuff. He's gross. He somebody was going to interview him and he wanted, I think it was 5,000 or something like that. And they were like, you have got to be kidding.
No.
Absolutely not. They wanted 3,000. Absolute. No.
Y'all, it was crazy. I
Did
laughed.
you laugh and then
I said, and I said back, I was like, unfortunately, I'll have to just kind of let this opportunity isn't. I can't remember what I said. It was just like, it's a no.
But they pretty much just like, bye bye.
There was someone who was on Survivor. They were never. It was not something that I booked for the show, but I know someone who used to host a Survivor podcast, and this one contestant, he got eliminated like probably before the merge, which is like midway through a season, or even earlier
Okay.
than midway through a season. And he was making the rounds on a lot of podcasts, and I found out that he charged like an insane amount of money, but was going on all these smaller podcasts where like they thought paying that money would like help get their show like afloat. And I'm like, y'all, he is scamming y'all's asses.
Yes, because to me, the money has to have. I've learned that if you're paying out of like a desperation, it's not like you're paying for a class or paying for. It's like sometimes it's like you're only doing it because you're only doing it because you know this person may do numbers, so I'm going to pay for it. And I just feel like money like that doesn't always come back with the best result.
It doesn't. It absolutely doesn't. And y'all, just so you know, when you go on the Today Show to do a segment, you don't get paid. When you go on Watch What Happens Live, you don't get paid. Not saying we're Watch What Happens Live with our Today's Show, but it's everything's about mutual gain.
Yeah.
But that being said, if you are an artist, like, and you're truly creating blood, sweat, and tears in your art, I think it's important to be like, I'm not doing this unless K. Michelle gets paid a ton of money to make her music, right?
Yeah.
She's a bona fide music superstar. And I agree. I think I respect, back to our initial point, I respect her being like, Cynthia, I'm not Candy.
Candy, don't you do another remix of a song. Okay, we're not even going to get
Oh
into
my
that.
God,
Not
y'all.
that one. I had to watch twice. I said, is that real?
Y'all, just go look up Candy Remix. She has a song that's going viral on TikTok, and I don't think it's for the reasons she wants it to be viral.
At all. Somebody posted. Now, Candy, I was already annoyed today.
Wait, so at this party, Cynthia once again said something so funny to K. Michelle. I just love Cynthia's like quips here and there. Because,
Yes.
last week she said a line that I still keep laughing about. She said to K. Michelle, she said, we won't come for you when you're sick, child.
Yes. Yes. The word child with Cynthia is a period on a
It
sentence.
is. And then in this episode, it was, you don't look like what you're going through, child.
Yes. I said, Cynthia, that just came out of nowhere. Like,
If I was K. Michelle, I'd be like, what?
yes. And it was also true. So it was
It is true. She looks like a movie star, and her
Yes.
like back of her behind is cut open.
It's like I would be concerned filming this show. Like, am I going to sit down on, like, if we see her standing in a lot of scenes, that's why. She's
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to sit down.
But she's a pro. She's a pro.
Yeah. Cynthia also, it was funny when she told Portia and Phaedra, Pinky won't let you get a word in. I was like,
Oh, here we go. Now, we're going back and forth between the party and then Portia and Phaedra pre-gaming the party by eating meat. Now, I have to say, these are the moments where I'm like, I love these women so much because they are so, in the words of Gen Z, deeply unserious. They're like, let's pull up and eat some grilled cheeses and some shrimp cocktail, child.
with the stench of beef on our breath.
Now, I have to ask you a question because famously I'm white. And I need to understand something that went
Okay.
down in this scene because I need to understand if this is like a black household kind of custom.
Okay.
But Phaedra's oldest son comes in and Portia's like, I haven't seen you in forever. Like, what are you up to? And he's like, nothing. And she's like, well, what are you going to do today? And he was like, probably nap. And Portia says, you're going to take a nap in your black mama's house.
Yes,
And
because
now
they think all you do is go to, they don't look at, now, from my generation, under my generation and on, they're going to think different. But from my generation and up, they think all you're doing is going to school. You're not doing anything. So they don't look at brain power being exhausting. So no, you don't take a nap. You get in there, you do them dishes, you make sure that room is clean. You don't got no homework. My dad was of you're going to find something to do after school. You just don't come home and sit around.
Yeah.
So no, take a nap. And you better hope that they don't wake you up early Saturday mornings, put on gospel music in some houses, Dionne Warwick or Anita Baker in another house and clean. A nap? That's probably why I don't take naps now.
You have nap trauma.
Nap trauma. You don't. What is? Are you a nap? It's more along the lines of what Phaedra said. I've take out the meat, or I vacuumed, or I've done this, or I've done that, or even I've sat on the game and played something. Like, you had to be doing something, but going to sleep wasn't one of them.
Yeah, that really baffled me because we just had free reign to do whatever we wanted.
A nap, absolutely not. Now, we were easier on our kids because we understood that. Like, I feel like my generation on down is in the period of unlearning.
Yeah.
Certain things we still enforce that come out of our black households, but yeah, a nap, please. You would say, I'm tired. Tired from what? All you did was go to school all day. Okay.
Tired from what? Wearing my nerves out?
Yeah. How dare you? Did you hear that in your house? Did your mom say that?
No, I'm kidding.
I was going to say, if you said yes, I would demand to see your tree because I feel like one of us would jump out.
No. My parents, here's the thing about my parents is that, well, we were very ambitious kids. Like, we were like always, like, I was never home by my own accord. That wasn't like
you weren't even
forced
home
upon
to
me.
take a nap. Yeah.
But when I did have time to be at home, like they would ask, which I think is like a very good parent thing to do, in hindsight. Mm-hmm. Like, if we were being really like couch potatoes one day, like binging America's Next Top Model in our room or something like that,
Uh-huh.
they would be like, "Are you doing what you want to be doing today?" And I would be like, "Yeah."
That
And they're like,
is
"Well, then great, we're
lovely.
happy."
That is lovely. We had to
Mm-hmm.
go outside and you drink
Well, we
from.
were active. Like the thing is, we were active on our own accord, and we were like busy on our own accord. So like, I think there was never a time where they were like, "You need to get out of this room." So,
Tom, we were active too, and you had to become activer. Go
oh, see, that's
outside.
crazy though. That's crazy.
And then, but I will say it forced us to be creative. Like one
Yeah,
time
that's
I
good.
was a reader and I didn't feel like going outside that day. So I was reading and my parents went out and my dad came home. He said, when we left, you were sitting in that spot and we're back and you still sitting in that same spot. And in my mind, I remember thinking, I was reading.
Yeah, reading is active to me. Like that's
Yeah.
an active. You're using your brain.
I think that from a black household comes from you never want to be seen as lazy because of the stereotypes of black
Right.
people. And
Yeah,
so,
I
but
understand.
then they don't know how to, so then they, 1, 2, 3, release them on to their children and make you like, so that's why I said my generation is unlearning. So yes, we did allow our children to take naps. I mean, my son has a gold medal in taking naps.
Not too much on little Corey.
I'm gonna literally clip that and send this to him. He's gonna love that. He's gonna love that.
So Portia and Phaedra arrive, and they get called sluts when they walk
I'm
in.
a slut. That's I wish I had opened the episode like that to you.
I
Hey,
know, I
slut.
agree. We should have, but this event they did a lot of camera angles to hide things because y'all, baby, I don't think that anyone was there.
Same. And was it for filming or was it people not showing up?
I think it was a filming thing, and I'm so
Same.
confused about. This is the type of stuff that bothers me on the shows, like the charity events that aren't charity events. Like you're just doing this so when you file your taxes and then they go and look at the Houses of Atlanta episode 4, they can be like, "Oh, she did do that charity event," you know.
And I'm sorry to ask someone. I don't know that I could ask someone to buy vegan formula knowing it's $25 a can. What is the like even Portia said, Pinky was like, I need you to bring this. It's almost like
But can I
you
ask
don't
you
even
why?
know these women.
But why? Like on a scientific logistical reason. Like I know that there are I know that there are some babies that are born lactose intolerant, but like if you are a woman who had a person who can have children and you're able to provide milk, if you're vegan, are you choosing not to provide your
Right.
nutrients?
That's
Because
a good
to
question.
me, that is kind of weird. The
And
point of
also,
veganism
that's
is
your
not
choice.
right, and the point of veganism is about animals. The point of veganism is not
Right.
about the human body. I'm not saying vegans can eat people, but I'm saying like
I know what you mean.
your body is creating that to provide nutrients for your child because babies can't just sit and like eat chicken breast and drink water. Like they can't
Yeah.
they can only consume that.
I'm thinking maybe they found that some of the other formulas may have animal product or byproduct in them.
Oh, that's a
And
good
if
point.
they can't breastfeed, again though,
But
I
then
do
also, but why? I don't know. I'm struggling. This is where I struggle with. And if you're vegan and this is something that you would abide by, do hit me in the comments. I would like to learn about it. This is an aspect of veganism that is kind of going over my head.
And I think that we have to get to a place of it is okay. We can have empathy. Like there may be a mother out there who's vegan, who couldn't breastfeed and may need help from the community. You would expect that, like that's where it's like, especially let's talk about the economy we're in right now. Personal choices. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's
like if we're at that point where she can't pump, she can't breastfeed,
and you can't
like,
afford
and you
regular.
can't afford regular formula, and you're vegan. Why are we going to do the $25? I don't know. There's just so many
Yes,
hurdles to
that's
jump through here that don't
yeah.
make a ton of sense to me. It feels like more of a like I'm just doing this because it's my brand.
Thank you. That's what. But when to have Phaedra, I just because I feel like you said, I feel like it was for show, but also if I had millionaire friends, I would be asking my friends to do that. I understand this is supposed to be your group of friends, but I just, because even the way Portia, again, I go back to talked about how much Pinky wanted her to contribute. I almost felt like maybe you've done charities in the past where you've used your money and maybe you can't now, or maybe you don't want to now. So I'm filming with these ladies who are supposed to be rich. So I'm going to almost like a get over. That is the spirit that I felt from Pinky a little bit. Not like you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just didn't seem,
completely.
you know.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
And then when she
So we
told
get
them
a
to
little.
stop the arguing, I'm sorry, stop the art. Girl,
Yeah,
you know what you're
I was
filming?
like, yeah, I know that. I did. Also, there's no one at your party, so who cares?
Right. And when she said we can sort it in Dallas, and Cynthia said, no.
We're gonna sort it right now. But I did think it was a wild little nugget that we got here that Pinky was a producer on Maury,
Yes.
and then Maury made an appearance in the episode.
Yes. Maury's been interviewing. When I saw he had Candace, I watched his interview with Candace, and I was like, oh, Maury is definitely shifting lanes.
Maury is great.
I almost feel like I could get Maury. Like, Maury, will you come on and talk to me about
I think he would
something?
do it. I've always got the vibe that he's like way normal, and I think he
Yeah.
got because of the show being so overproduced and kind of salacious. I think people think that he's a little bit of a maybe not great person based on that reputation. But all I've ever heard about him, that he's like an absolute delight and really a very good journalist. That he just kind of got pigeonholed into this kind of type of show, and then it paid his
Yeah.
bills. I mean, it pays everything in
Yeah.
his life. That show was
Yeah.
on the air for like how long? Like 20
Years.
years. I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Like it was on when I was a kid, and then it was still on when I was in college. I think. Like yeah.
Yeah. Years.
Um,
That was, but she was also on something else though. What else? And remember when she first,
let's look it up.
the first episode, she mentioned she was a producer on something. Maybe it was Maury, but I thought it was another show. And then Maury was like, wow.
Let's see. Pinky Cole, IMDb.
She was there. I could have swore it was another show.
So she actually doesn't even have. She doesn't even have Maury on her IMDb as like a producer credit. Maybe because her name was different at that point or something. But
Oh
then,
yeah, because her name isn't Pink. It's something else.
all I have here is Betted on Black and 30. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna have to go back. Might go back and watch that episode because she mentioned maybe it was Maury, but I thought it was another show that she mentioned. Huh.
Well, before we wrap, we have to talk about this last scene that was crazy to me. This Portia and Dennis scene.
Aisha
No.
Cole's her real name. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, what is it?
Aisha.
Aisha Cole. Oh, that'll probably come up with the stuff. Wait.
Okay.
Aisha Cole.
Yeah. Look at you not needing to know how to spell Aisha.
Wait, I think. Oh no, that's not her either. I don't know. I'll work.
I'm gonna
on
look at it up. Okay.
Yeah. I still can't. Looking at Dennis, I'm like, this is the man that almost had Portia Williams, and I have been like a Dennis like. Not defender, but like
Same,
I've liked
same.
him fine, and I think a lot of times he's had good points about some of the mad, especially when she was with Simon.
And well, when she was on Portia's Family Mess, as they called it.
Yeah. Jerry Springer Bravo edition. It was
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah. Do you think this thing
I
was
still
real?
can't believe they got away with that show.
Me neither. I can't believe she got away.
It's
Way
one
with
of the
some of this.
it's one of the most like salacious, messed up shows I've ever seen on Bravo.
The layers of messiness were insane. Like, and that was when, for the people who had never seen it in Portia and didn't know the real Portia, when she got on that bus and said, I don't know why my family doesn't want to talk about it. They have a tendency to sweep things under the rug, only for the family to then be filming and said, Portia called us last night and told us not to talk about it.
It was crazy. That
Yeah.
family literally was like, we're about to drag this woman.
Yes. So, which makes me wonder, do you think this scene with Dennis was real? Or do you think she was like, I gotta, because I think Portia is the type, oh, if people are saying I'm being authentic, I think Portia feels like tears equals authenticity. So when she cried to Mike earlier in the episode in her closet about the
Don't get
house,
me started about that, man. We didn't even talk about that. But Mike is such a paid actor. It's
yes,
crazy.
it's great. You know, he was on Ready to Love, a
Yeah.
show. So,
Well,
but
what about when she was like in that scene where she was like, I'm sorry, y'all. I like this show a lot. I love this show, but that was scripted reality television. That scene
yes.
where
And
she was like, "Wait, you want a baby? I don't
that
know
was,
if I can do that." I'm like, "Oh my
it
god."
was the setup for the breakup. So that's going
Yeah.
to be their reason for breaking up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's
Yes.
why this scene with Dennis, I was like, is this real?
See, I think no, I do think here's what I think happened. I think that she invited Dennis over to come look at their podcast studio because she wants her storyline to be about the revamp of her podcast because she wants people to remember it, and it's like brand recognition.
I used to listen.
And I think it was just meant to be that.
And their daughter, YouTube, who they didn't have down there. But go ahead.
Oh yeah, her daughter has a YouTube channel, right?
Or they
Which I
want to
think is
develop her a YouTube channel. And she tells the guy, she'll come down and talk to you about it later. If it's really her idea, why isn't she here now? But go
yeah,
ahead.
that's weird to me. I also don't like that. I don't think that she should
Yeah.
have a YouTube channel, but
Not yet.
no. But then I think Dennis kind of started to spring some real time stuff on them because they also
Okay.
one thing about them like Dennis and Portia they'll pour a large beverage at 1:00 in the afternoon
Yes.
to film Real Houses of Atlanta.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's
Because
true.
I think Dennis was drinking like I don't think that was beer. I think it was like brown liquor, like
Okay, that's true.
in like a tumbler.
You're right. So he probably was tipsy. Because when she said, this is what I mean about her, that people like her are dangerous. She said, I didn't know that him and Mike lived in the same apartment building, but I know he don't live there now. He lives in a house with his girlfriend. So she lets us know he has a girlfriend. Then she says to Dennis, when you be drinking and texting me late those things, I was like, oh, girl. Oh, girl. Now
You're
he didn't
saying that for
deny
a
it.
reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he didn't deny it either. So I'm like, but I don't know if it's true. And they just cut out his deny. Like, I don't know. But you want us to know that he still wants you. It's pretty much that.
Yeah. I think it's silly that they never got married, to be honest, in the first place. I think they would have been I think they kind of would have been happy together. I think we're too far gone now for them to do anything,
Yeah.
but like I thought they were really sweet together when they first got
I think she
together.
really, really liked him. And when you look at Portia's track record of men that we see, Mike is not really her type. Mike is nice looking. Now, I used to very ride for Dennis. I don't think Dennis is ugly. I don't. Portia just doesn't go for like a man like Mike.
Well, because Portia is into like betas. She's into
Yeah.
beta men or alpha women.
Yes. Do you
There's
remember when
there's a through line here. You don't like studs like Sway, and then also like people like Mike. That's not the same.
Wow.
I don't think she can like both those things. People can
Oh,
like anything
that's
they want.
right, but
I
I know
just-
what you mean.
I think there's something about her that she's always wanted a woman, so she always kind of found beta men.
Yeah. Well, she did say in Carlos's interview she always knew that she liked a woman and she had a girlfriend in elementary school.
And she was white.
She was white. She was white. And she said, man, woman, it didn't matter. Just come, let's rub our belly buttons together because I'll hunch on anything.
That y'all go watch the clip. It is crazy.
Oh my. I just have to say though, seeing Carlos the way he was sitting on that couch, legs tucked under, there was just something I didn't like. But it's gonna be a good interview.
I have my thoughts on him.
Yes.
And then we end up on Pinky telling her husband that she is filing for divorce. I think it's crazy that she has been walking around this television program telling her business to the cameras, and then her man is the last one to find out. If I was her man and I watched this television show back, I would be very mad.
When he said, "Who else knows?" and she just goes, shrugs, and then they show her telling everyone.
The cashier knows at Slutty Vegan.
And then she goes, he goes, "I always have to find out on the news or like TV."
Well, you're about to find out again.
Now, I do think she was smart to say, not for the reasons that she's thinking. I do think there's a little bit of, I'm strong, I got to do this without telling him, because of the fact, because there might be a level of competition between the two. And Pinky was at it longer, but also him saying, last episode, I had to humble you. Oh, no. And I think that's why she won't allow herself to fully, which is not good, be vulnerable with him. She'll cry. People mistake tears for vulnerability. I'm one that sometimes if I can't get my feelings out physically, if I'm angry or upset, I will cry, not because I'm vulnerable, but because I can't be destructive. So I can see Pinky's tears not being a sign of vulnerability with her husband, which is not good. If you can't be vulnerable with your partner, someone that you lay next to, that you've had kids with, someone who's supposed to be your person. So the fact that he is finding out last is crazy to me, but I do think she's smart. When he said, "I'm going to give you the $5 million, I was thinking, no, you're going to keep that for the family. I'm going to go ahead and file this bankruptcy.
Yeah, what they're saying, shut up. They're saying too much. Shut up. Don't let people know how much money you have.
Because even though it's technically his and she's filing on her own, so he may not be whatever, but at the same time, no, let's keep that money for the family. If I can restructure, then I'm going to do that.
Yep, agreed.
And then I also think, though, if he gave her that $5 million and we've only seen a little bit, but it just feels like to me, and I could be wrong, because if somebody saw me in court, excuse me, I just burped. I'm sorry. That came from my gut. Good gut health, though, because stuff is moving.
Congrats. 49, good gut health. Anything else you want to tell us?
Good gut health. What did Dr. Simone say about Cecil? I still get that. To me, took me over the edge. But anyway,
wait, what did she say?
On the show, she was like, they were talking about her and Cecil's relationship, and basically they get on each other's nerves, but we still have sex. I still get wet. That's what she said. I was like, oh.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Oh my God. I'm not even going to say it. Something me and Corey did Saturday. I'm not even going to say it. But people could look at me and Corey on a reality show and have their thoughts. So, of course, and they could be wrong. So I could be wrong in this, but I just feel like she's not taking that money because I feel like he would let her know, remind her, I bailed you out, I saved you, and my business is doing well, so let me give you some business advice. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there.
So, yeah.
Well, guys, this was we went. I'm looking at the time. We have chatted for so long. Look at that.
Yes, we were going to do an hour, but technically we only did 26 minutes over our hour.
Yeah, that's okay though. I mean, this is a great app, y'all. Taria's the best. If you have not followed Taria on YouTube, do that now at We Go Podcast. I'm also going to collab with her on this video, so y'all can go check her out there.
Follow me on Instagram too. For some reason, I just can't get the people over there. But I think it's because I don't post consistently, but I'm getting better.
Yeah. And Taria, let everyone know what's happening on We Go. What are you covering over there right now?
Everything. I just dropped an episode today with DJ Richie Sky where we talked about Beverly Hills, just a little bit, Atlanta, Bell Collective, Birmingham. I do think Carlos has something good on his hands. If you are an OWN watcher, Bell Collective Birmingham is pretty good so far. I think we're 2 or 3 episodes in. But I cover everything because what else is going on? Wherever I go, we go. So we talk about everything from the Clay and Megan of it all to those shenanigans that the White House pulled recently with that alleged shooting. Because those were the shenanigans, in the words of Joseline Hernandez. And we also do a pop of politics, with everything going on. Not that we want to escape. We always don't want to think about it. But every now and then when something I feel like is really important that we should talk about, I'll bring it to people, like, in case you didn't know this, just be aware, this is what's going on, this is what's happening, this is what they're trying to do. So we also do just a pop of politics over there, just to keep us informed, as well as, we can be informed and funny, because I hate when we're talking about the summer house leaks and people are like, get a life, there's wars going on. Well, we can do two things at once, Becky. We can talk about it all, and we can care about it all. So yeah, there's that. And we care about it all over on We Go. So come see me over there.
I wish after everything started to go down in that room, when everyone started leaving, if Cynthia Bailey was sitting in the middle of the room and turned around and goes, what else is going on?
Holding the bottle of wine that lady took off the table.
That was cracking me up. That was us at that winery.
The way we walked in, oh my God. I thought about that recently. Me, Donnie, and Kendrick, when we came back later and walked in with loud.
All those bottles. Like, y'all, we went to a winery, and then we got a wrap. We went to a winery, and Chelsea, Amanda, Kicks, and myself left first, and and Taria, Donnie, and Kendrick stayed for like another hour, mixing and mingling. They walked in with bottles to the Airbnb. I'm like, what the hell were y'all up to?
Y'all can see who the party crew is, where the party at.
Oh my God.
That was so much fun. Yeah, we haven't done that in 2 years. I know I missed Donnie's birthday, but yeah. Even Corey said, y'all not doing y'all trip no more? I was like, I don't know.
Save this for off pod, Taria. Okay, y'all, thank you for being here. Make sure to follow me at the Tom Hamlin on Instagram and Threads and YouTube. And if you want an ad-free and early access version of this here episode, go subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/dumpsterdivepod. And lastly, if you made it this far, we are doing a Dumpster Dive live on Wednesday for patrons only with my sister Kix chatting Real Housewives of Rhode Island. So come by that, and we'll talk to y'all later. Taria, say bye to everyone. Bye.
Bye.